United States, somewhere between 4,500 and 5,000 people die from choking-related incidents. The other day, I was almost one of those statistics. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Christina Protic, back after a long time with a brand new video. Guys, first of all, if you notice something different about my voice, I'm getting over a cold. Yes, I've been sick for a few weeks, and I've been super busy working at 3 different pools, sometimes over 50 hours a week. The other week, I worked 56 hours. I've literally been working 7 days a week, super hard. So I haven't had any time to make videos. I miss it so much. You don't even know how much I miss it. So I'm gonna tell you guys what happened to me the other day. It was super scary. If I remember it really strongly, if I put myself back there, I might get really emotional. I might start crying. So I'm gonna try to explain it without getting too emotional, but we'll see what happens. So hopefully you guys can hear me. I might have to come closer because I'm getting over a cold and also the traffic in the background. I need a mic. Anyways, okay, so the other day, so I was on my way to work. Some days I work 2 or 3 jobs in the same day. The days when I work 3 jobs in the same day and I have to drive from job to job, it's too much. So I'm trying to cut down. It's really been a huge stress and a lot of gas money, a lot of time, a lot of exhaustion. Like, that's why I got sick, is because I haven't been getting enough sleep. I've been getting 2 or 3 hours of sleep, sometimes for days on end, and it's not healthy. So anyway, so the other day, I was driving from one job to the next, and I had been sick. So I was like, you know what, before I get to my second job, I don't want all my coworkers to be like noticing my sickness. So I'm gonna take 2 pills on the way to my job before I get there, you know, save time, just take them on the way. And I had gotten these new pills, Vicks Dayquil, and they were giant pills. Like, compared to most pills that I take, like little Benadryl or little Advil, like, it was like 2 to 3 times bigger. So I took 2 of those while I was driving on the way to work, and I was not thinking. That was not smart, guys. You shouldn't be taking any medicine while you're driving, but especially that, and just trying to swallow it like one after the other. It was just an accident waiting to happen. So the second pill got stuck in my airway, completely lodged in my throat. It wasn't like I had halfway swallowed it and it was like going down. It was like I inhaled it, and it was just like completely blocking my airway. It was so scary, and I have been through something similar to this like about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. I'll tell you that story later. But so I knew it was like an emergency situation. So as soon as I recognized my airway was blocked and the pill was stuck, it wasn't going down, I knew I couldn't drive. I knew it would not be a good idea to keep driving. So I put on my emergency lights. I pulled over to the side of the road. I left my car. I got out because I knew I had to get like in this position, like you're gonna throw up, because that's the only way like you can get it out. So I got out of my car. I hunched over on the ground like I was gonna throw up, but it wasn't coming out. It was like blocked. It was like, I would say maybe like 95% of my airway was blocked. So it was almost like, okay, I was choking, I was coughing and coughing, and a little sound was coming out, so it wasn't 100% blocked, but it was really scary, and I knew I could go unconscious, or, you know, something could happen. So I was trying to cough as hard as I could, because that's what they teach us in the lifeguarding classes. And I had my phone knew that this is an emergency situation and I might not get this out on my own, I thought it's gonna be stuck. I thought I would probably go unconscious. That's where my mindset was. I thought this is so bad. It was so scary, guys. It was so scary. Like, every time I drive by that spot now, I get flashbacks, I get like chills, I get like, thank you God that I'm okay. So I knew it was an emergency situation. When I pulled over on the side, so 2 people came over and they started running to help, but I just dialed 911 because I knew, like, okay, you don't know what's gonna happen. I might go unconscious. They might not know what to do. So I dialed 911. The guy was there. The lady actually came a little bit later. The guy was there. I was like talking at first. I was like, I could make out like 1 or 2 words, not sentences really. I was just like, I'm choking! And I was like, and I was like, it was an ugly scene. It was like half throwing up, like spit was coming. I was like, I wasn't throwing up, but I was making the sounds, like, you know? It was a completely ugly scene, but it was an emergency situation. I didn't even care. I thought, like, I might not make it, you know? So I just was, like, trying to communicate with the lady on 911, and I just told her, like, I'm by Exxon, Warrenton, black car, like, barely even a few words. I'm pretty sure that they tracked me from my phone call because I couldn't explain like which street or anything. So I was able to make out a few words and they tracked me, I'm pretty sure, from my phone. She said, we're sending people your way, they're gonna help. So I heard the sirens like within probably a minute. It was so fast. Shout out to those guys in Warrenton, those EMTs. God, thank you so much for them. So anyway, in the meantime, when I got done with the 911 call, the guy was there, this random guy who ran over from the gas station. I think he was just another customer, but he was so worried about me. He didn't really know what to do, but he started whacking my back. He wasn't doing exactly right. He was like hitting the top of my back, and I felt like, I don't know if he's making it worse or he's helping, but he's trying. I appreciated that he was there. He was trying to help. He was whacking my back, and I knew EMTs were coming. I felt the pill wasn't like going down. It never went down, okay? It was either in the wrong pipe or it was just completely lodged in my throat, in my airway. And it eventually dissolved and the medicine was burning so bad. Because that's meant to go down in your stomach. That's not meant to dissolve in your throat. It hurts so bad, guys. But it took a really long time to dissolve. Thank God it did, but it was like dissolving really slowly, and I was like I couldn't talk. I just was like, ugh, it was so scary. So I was in that state for probably like 3 to 5 minutes, just hunched over, you know, guy whacking my back, 911 called, 911 on the way, like coughing, choking, gagging, wheezing. It was so scary. I thought I'm gonna go unconscious, or, you know, I didn't know what was gonna happen, but it was one of the scariest moments of my life. And then a lady came. She also, I think she worked in the gas station, or she was another customer there. And she was just talking to me and trying to be there for me. She didn't really know what to do. But it helped to have those 2 people come over and just be there, you know, until the EMTs got there. Yeah, so finally the EMTs got there, and by that time, the pill had like started to dissolve, so I could actually like talk a little bit. I was still super scared and still coughing, and my throat was burning, and I had like pretty much lost my voice, but I could make out a few words. I could kind of communicate with the guys when they were there. So I told them, like, choking, I was trying to take pills, one got stuck in my throat, you know, and they they were like, okay, focus on your breathing, you know, we're here. If you need anything, just keep coughing. And they made sure I was okay. Then they're like, we're gonna take you in the ambulance. We're not gonna take you to the hospital, just rest in the ambulance. We're gonna make sure your breathing and your blood pressure and everything are okay. And I was like, all right. So I got in an ambulance with them. I was like dizzy, shaking, still coughing, still like not just choking as much, but still like having the feeling of my airway being blocked. Like the parts of the pill were dissolving, but it still felt like, I couldn't do anything. So I got in, I rested in the ambulance. They took my blood pressure, they offered me a drink. They said, do you want Gatorade or water? And I said, water. So they gave me water and I was able to like take a few swallows, just a little bit. And then like it dissolved in my throat. It finally like started to get better. They took my blood pressure a couple times. They monitored me for a long time. They talked to me. They made sure I wasn't gonna pass out. I was probably like all red and like a mess. I actually probably looked a total mess because of like half throwing up, and just my hair was everywhere and I was like red and choking, and I probably looked so bad, but but I was so grateful they were there and I was alive, and the situation was getting better. So yeah, so the lady and the man left. They were good. They stayed for a long time trying to help me, which I really appreciated. But I really think that I saved myself by calling 911, because like I don't know what could have happened. I could have gone unconscious, and you know, it's a miracle that I was okay. So I really think I saved myself by calling 911, and also by getting out and just like coughing as hard as I could, and like you know, hunched over in this position so that the pill could like start to come out or like get dislodged. So yeah, so if that ever happens to you guys, I pray it doesn't. Like, always be careful. Don't take big pills. Like, those should not be legal. I think. Super dangerous. But yeah, if that ever happens to you guys and you're choking alone, call 911 if you can, or text at least. Call 911 and they can track you even if you can't talk, because you don't know the severity of the situation. You could easily go unconscious really fast. And then it's only a matter of time before you're unalived. So that would be my #1 recommendation. Call 911. Or get to another person, but 911 is better because a lot of people don't have training. They don't know what to do. If that ever happens to you guys, call 911, get to another person if you can. If you can't, you can fall onto your airway. You can there's a really famous YouTube video made by a firefighter. You can look it up. If I find it, I'll link it in the description down below. But he talks about how to fall forward onto your airway to knock the object out. So you can do that, or some people say you can fall onto a chair and just it'll kind of be like a Heimlich maneuver and jab upwards towards your esophagus and hopefully dislodge the object. So you can do that, okay, so I have another story where I almost didn't make it again. It was about 4 or 5 years ago. Same thing happened in a different way. This time was even more scary because I would say that this more recent time, my airway was probably 95% blocked, which was still really, really scary. But I could actually make noise, I could actually cough, I could actually get out a few words to the 911 person. The last time it happened, my airway was probably 99 or 100% blocked. I really almost didn't make it this time. That was the scariest day of my life, scariest night of my life, 100%. So this was back when I lived in Tyson's. So I was just home one night I was eating a sandwich with like the really hard bread. And I was watching YouTube and I wasn't paying attention. I was eating fast. I was eating fast and not paying attention to how I chewed or swallowed. And I just inhaled a big piece of bread. It got so stuck in my airway. It got completely stuck in my airway and I started like gagging, choking. I was in this state for, it seemed like several minutes. It wasn't several minutes, but it seemed like an eternity. It was so bad, I started to black out from lack of oxygen. I ran into the bathroom and was trying to like, you know, try to get it out somehow, try to throw up. I looked at myself in the mirror and I was white as a sheet. I thought this is the end of my life. I thought I was not gonna make it that night, guys. I really thought I was not gonna make it. I thought this is how I'm gonna go. I thought, oh, alone in my apartment, choked to death, you know? Oh God, thank you for saving my life. God, thank you. I'm just telling God right now, thank you God for saving my life, because it was only Him. It was a miracle. Nothing else could have done it. That time I was so out of it that I was not able to dial 911. I couldn't think, I couldn't hold my phone, I couldn't, you know? I had no oxygen. I continued to be in my bathroom just trying to like get myself to throw up, like patting myself, you know? And eventually it did like dislodge a little bit and like a little bit came out. And that was like my first glimpse of hope in the situation. I thought, okay, before that happened, when I couldn't call 911, I was so out of it, I thought I'm gonna black out. All I could do was pray. Not out loud, couldn't make a sound. In my head, in my brain, all I could do was pray. God help. Just my consciousness, you know, was like, God help. Because I thought I'm gonna not make it. That was the scariest moment of my life. That was way scarier than this recent time. I really thought I would not make it that night. So in my brain, I just prayed, God help. Then immediately after, like it got dislodged a little bit and I was able to kind of half throw up. And then I was able to get like a little bit of air in my lungs. The air in our lungs is such a gift. And when you don't have it for a time, and then you have it again, the best feeling in the world. So that time was the scariest night of my life. After I was able to breathe that night, I think I sat there for hours crying. Just for like, such a miracle, like, that I was there, that God saved me. I threw away the rest of that sandwich. I never eat those sandwiches anymore. I get very nervous when I eat bread now. I have to eat very soft bread, very slowly, very carefully, because it was such a traumatic experience. And I threw away all those pills that that recently caused this. If you ever have to take pills, guys, take very, very small ones, very, very carefully with water, not while you're driving. Always be focused. Always be careful. Oh, that's brighter. Manual setting. Should I have been on this the whole time? Ooh, I'm very bright. Because the sun is going down, so I'm trying to, like, you know, make my video look good. Alright. So I think because I had that previous experience several years ago, I think I kind of knew that I had survived it and I would get through the second one. I think it kind of subconsciously gave me hope. And also the fact that I knew to call 911, that kind of gave me hope because I knew if I went unconscious, somebody would find me, they would do CPR, they'd probably, you know, use an AED or whatever, bring me back to life, you know, get my pulse going again. So that kind of gave me hope when I lifeguarded myself and knew to call 911 and knew to continuously cough as hard as I can to get that object dislodged. So it's still, this most recent time was definitely up there with the scariest moments of my life. Probably those two probably are the scariest moments of my life, even though I've had other near-death experiences. I definitely say that even over like skydiving or King's Dominion, you know, giant bungee jump, or, you know, almost car crashes, those are not as scary as having your airway completely or mostly blocked and you can't breathe. That's like, I mean, those are the scariest moments of my life. Those two. So, you know, that's a huge number, that between 4,500 and 5,000 people die in the US alone every year from choking related incidents. That's a huge number, and that should be preventable, in my opinion. I mean, I think for number one, everyone should have lifeguard training, CPR, know how to do the Heimlich maneuver, know how to help someone who is choking, and know how to help yourself if you are choking alone, because it's happened to me twice now. So I just wanted to make this video to bring awareness to the situation, the severity of it, the dangers of it. Everyone should have a plan. You should have training to help other people, to know what to do if you are choking. Second, you should be aware at all times of your food or gum or whatever. I don't even like to chew gum anymore because I'm like paranoid. Or just a very small gum, like, and real quick, and like I shouldn't chew gum probably anymore because I'm too worried about that. But like your food, you know, everyone should be aware. Don't be like, you know, just inhaling your food, like eating as fast as possible. Like, take your time. Take your time, be focused, chew your food, because it just takes one little thing, you know? One little thing. Your airway is very, very small, very, very delicate. Like, you look at these diagrams and stuff online, and it's just like a little small pipe, your airway. You know, you get a grape stuck in there, or a piece of bread, or a pill, it's over. So, and guys, like, some people don't know, when your airway is blocked, you can't get air through your nose. It's like completely blocked. It's not like you can, oh, breathe through my nose, there's a back emergency airway. No, it's like completely blocked. You can't you can't get anything. So that's your source of life. You gotta be careful, you gotta take care of it, and you know, everyone should know how to call 911, you know, what to say, or whatever the emergency number is in your country. You know, you should know what to do, and just have a plan, just be aware. Yeah, just be careful. Because, God, thank you that I'm here today. Oh, man, like, I almost didn't make it twice, guys. It's a miracle, and I'm so grateful for my life. And I have a new perspective. Like, I've been seeing everything just as so beautiful in a new light. And you know, I've told this story to a whole bunch of coworkers now at multiple jobs, because I work with so many lifeguards and swim coaches and, you know, swim instructors, and just, we all have training what to do if you're choking. So a lot of people have enjoyed hearing this story. But I feel like nobody, maybe a couple people did understand the severity of it and how traumatizing it was for me. But some of them were kind of like, whatever, is she making a big deal about this? Like, you know, and all I can say is, like, you know, I know what I went through. Like, God knows what I went through. In that moment, I thought I will probably go unconscious. That's why I called 911. I don't joke around. Like, if it was just halfway stuck, like going down my throat, like paused, I wouldn't have called them. I would have just taken a swig of water and been like, there, the pill's gone. But I thought I just inhaled this thing. It's stuck way up in there. It's not going anywhere. So that's why I thought I was gonna not make it. That's why I called 911, and it did, you know, thank God it eventually dissolved. But so now every time I go to that job in Warrenton, and I love my job, I love my coworkers there, I love everybody there. It's so nice, it's so awesome. But I just get like, I just see the spot, and I'm like, oh. I'm like, that day was so powerful. Like, I just say thank you. I just say thank you. Like, but yeah, I say thank you to those guys for watching over me, taking care of me, making sure I was good, you know. They were like, I told them where I worked, and I was on the way to work, and they were like, well, if you have any complications throughout the day, any, you know, repercussions or anything happens to you afterwards, you know, later, just call us right back. We'll come to your work, and, you know, we'll check on you again. It'll probably be the same two guys, and I feel so grateful for them. I feel so thankful. So always appreciate your emergency responders who are there for you in times of need like that. And yeah, well, the sun is going down. I got my story told. Guys, thank you so much if you watched this video, the whole thing, all the way to the end. You mean so much to me. Guys, take care. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome day. And always, stay motivated, stay extraordinary, and stay blessed.